Your cat will never complain. She won't tell you she's in pain, won't explain that she's scared, won't ask you to stop. She'll just endure it, silently, eyes closed, because you are her entire world, and she has no other world to go to. That's exactly why you need to know this. 15 things you do every single day that are hurting your cat. She stays quiet, but that doesn't mean everything is fine. 1. You stare at her for too long. You look at your cat with love. She looks back. You think connection, closeness, understanding. She thinks threat. In cat body language, a long, direct stare is aggression. That's how cats look at each other right before a fight, dominance, a challenge. When you stare at your cat without blinking, you're sending her a signal. I'm ready for conflict. She looks away not because she's shy. She's breaking the threatening contact to avoid escalation. This is stress, quiet, invisible, accumulating. A cat who gets stared at frequently becomes more anxious, avoids unnecessary contact, reacts more sharply. You don't understand why. The rule is simple. Look softly and blink slowly. A slow blink is, I love you, in cat language. If she slowly blinks back, you just received a confession of love. No words, no tension, no fear. 2. You pet her against the grain. Seems like nothing. Running your hand upward against the fur, ruffling her side, scratching her tail the wrong way. She flinches, walks away. You think she's just not in the mood. What's actually happening is physical discomfort. Fur has a growth direction, and the nerve endings at the base respond to backward movement as irritation, not pain, but unpleasant, like if someone kept touching you in a way that just felt wrong. You'd leave too. Add to that the static electricity that builds up when you pet against the grain. Cats feel static more acutely than humans do. Every stroke, a small shock, small but real. Always pet in the direction of fur growth, head to tail, slow. With even pressure. This isn't boring, it's right. A cat who gets petted correctly relaxes. One who gets petted wrong tolerates it and leaves at the first opportunity. 3. You pick her up when she didn't want to be picked up. She's lying there. You scoop her up. She doesn't struggle, just sits slightly tense, waiting to be put down. You think she's calm, everything's fine. She's not calm. She froze. This is the freeze response, an ancient instinct that activates when fighting back isn't worth it. It's how prey behaves in a predator's claws. Your cat isn't fighting you. But inside, survival mode just switched on. Every time you pick her up without permission, you're confirming your hands mean loss of control. Gradually, she starts moving away when you approach. You feel hurt. She's just protecting herself. The right way. Walk over, let her sniff your hand, wait. If she rubs against it, you can pick her up. If she steps back, not today. A cat who comes to you on her own is a cat who was given a choice. That's a completely different experience for both of you. 4. You punish her for something she already forgot. You come home. You find a puddle on the rug, or a broken vase, or claw marks on the couch. You call her over in a stern voice. You push her nose toward it. You say everything you're thinking. She shrinks down looking guilty. You think she understood. She understood nothing. Cats don't connect punishment to an action that happened more than 2 seconds ago. Her memory doesn't work that way. She doesn't remember the puddle. She only remembers one thing. You came home and started being aggressive, for no reason from her perspective. The guilty look isn't an admission of guilt. It's a response to your tone and posture. She's reading a threat and submitting to avoid making things worse. Every one of these conversations is a hit to trust that she didn't deserve, because she genuinely doesn't understand what she did wrong. Punishment only works in the moment. Remove the opportunity, and the behavior disappears on its own. 5. You use strong scents around her, perfume, air freshener, scented candles, cleaning products with sharp chemical smells. For you, it's background. For your cat, it's a sensory assault. A cat's nose is 14 times more sensitive than a human's. What seems like a light vanilla scent to you is like standing next to a running perfume factory for her. Citrus, mint, eucalyptus, tea tree oil for cats. These aren't just unpleasant, they're toxic. Cats can't metabolize essential oils because they lack the necessary enzymes. The oils settle on fur, get ingested during grooming, and accumulate in the liver, slowly, invisibly, over months. A cat living in a home with an essential oil diffuser is being chronically poisoned in a way that's nearly impossible to connect to the diffuser without specific blood work. Get rid of the diffuser. Open windows instead of spraying air freshener. Choose fragrance-free cleaning products. Her nose is not a small thing. 6. You wake her up because she looks too cute. She's sleeping in a ridiculous position, or with her tongue sticking out, or curled up with a paw over her nose. Impossible not to touch. You touch her. She opens her eyes and looks at you with a silent question. Cats need 16 to 20 hours of sleep per day. This isn't laziness, it's the physiology of a predator. During deep sleep, cell regeneration, immune system strengthening, brain processing. Interrupted sleep isn't just an inconvenience. Chronic sleep deprivation in cats leads to irritability, weakened immunity, shortened lifespan. You wake her up because it feels good to you. It doesn't feel good to her. She won't leave. You're her favorite person. But the cost of that tolerance is real. Just look. Don't touch. Take as many photos as you want. The pet can wait until she wakes up on her own. 7. You blast music or TV without thinking about her. You put on a show, or music, or you're on a loud phone call. For you, it's a normal evening. For the cat in the room, it's an ordeal. Cats hear up to 65,000 hertz. You max out at around 20,000. They hear things that are physically inaccessible to you. High-frequency whine from speakers, electrical interference, ultrasonic harmonics from electronics, sudden loud sounds, gunshots in a movie, screaming, explosions aren't screen action to your cat. They're real sound impacts with no identifiable source. She doesn't know it's the TV. She only knows something loud, unpredictable, impossible to locate. Chronic noise pollution is stress that accumulates and affects health. Give her a quiet room. Turn the volume down. This isn't a sacrifice. It's basic respect for someone who lives with you. 8. You feed her food from your plate without checking what's in it. She watches you eat with big eyes. You give her a piece. She eats it happily. Everything looks fine. Onions and garlic destroy red blood cells in cats and cause anemia in any form, including powder and cooked versions. Grapes and raisins cause acute kidney failure. The mechanism still isn't fully understood, but the outcome is predictable. Chocolate contains theobromine that cats can't process. Avocado, xylitol in sugar-free foods, coffee, alcohol in any amount. Many of these don't cause an immediate reaction. She eats it, looks normal, you think it's fine. The damage accumulates inside, kidneys, liver, blood. One day it will show up and you won't immediately make the connection. Before you hand anything off your plate, check. 5 seconds of Googling could buy her several extra years of life. 9. You don't notice when she changes. She's eating a little less, jumping up to her favorite spot a little less often, sitting in the corner a little more. You're busy. You think, just a mood. It'll pass. Cats hide pain and illness instinctively. In the wild, a sick animal is easy prey, so they conceal weakness until the very end. By the time a cat is visibly showing that something's wrong, the illness is already advanced. Early signs are barely noticeable. Change in appetite, different resting position, less grooming or suddenly more. Different quality to the meow. Change in litter box frequency. Any one of these signals might be nothing, or it might be the beginning of something serious. Cats whose owners catch changes early live longer. This isn't a statistic. It's the difference between caught it in time and too late. Watch closely. Every day. You know your cat better than any vet. Use that knowledge. 10. You leave her alone too long without any preparation. You're going away for a few days. You leave food, water, a clean litter box. You think, she's a cat, she'll be fine. She needs her independence anyway. Cats bond to their owners deeply and specifically. They handle your absence harder than you think. Not every cat the same, but many experience separation anxiety. She won't howl, she'll wait quietly, stop eating properly, start over-grooming to the point of bald patches from anxiety, or stop grooming entirely. Sleep on your things, because your scent is the only piece of you that's left. This isn't drama, it's the reality of an animal for whom you are the entire world. If you're going away, ask someone to come over, not just to feed her, to be there, to talk to her. Leave something with your scent. This isn't being sentimental. This is care. 11. You don't notice when she needs to be left alone. She goes into another room. You follow because you want to be near her, because you missed her, because why not? She leaves again. You follow again. You think this is affection. She thinks she has no personal space. Cats are not social animals by nature. They need time in quiet and solitude, not because you're annoying. Because their nervous system gets worn down by constant presence, the same way yours gets worn down by constant socializing. When your cat leaves, that's not rejection, that's regulation. She's saying, I need to recover. A cat who isn't allowed to leave becomes chronically overwhelmed, reacts more aggressively, scratches for no obvious reason, hides. You think her personality changed. What actually happened is she never gets any silence. When she leaves, let her go. She'll come back on her own. She always does. 12. You laugh at her when she's scared. Thunderstorm, fireworks, vacuum cleaner, a sudden loud noise. She hides under the bed, and you pull out your phone to film her trembling. Or you laugh, or you try to drag her out to show her there's nothing to be afraid of. For her, the fear is real, complete, physical, heart racing, pupils dilated, body ready to run or freeze. This isn't performance, and it isn't drama. It's an adrenaline surge she cannot control. When you laugh in that moment, you're not just failing to help. You're adding confusion on top of fear. The person who's supposed to be safety is acting strangely at exactly the moment when everything feels dangerous. This undermines trust at a deep level. The right move: just be nearby. Talk calmly. Don't drag her out. Don't force contact. Don't laugh. Let her wait it out. Your calm transfers to her through your voice and posture. You can't explain to her that thunder isn't dangerous, but you can show her through your own state that everything is under control. 13. You stop playing with her abruptly. A cat's hunting cycle: stalking, chasing, attacking, catching, finishing. All 5 phases matter. When you wave a toy around for 10 minutes and then suddenly shove it in a drawer, you're cutting the cycle off at phase 4. She caught it, and nothing. No finish. It's like starting a movie and turning it off 1 minute before the end, over and over. An unfinished hunting cycle creates frustration that builds up. The cat becomes more wound up, more aggressive, starts going after you or other animals, not because she's mean, because she needs to finish what was started. End playtime correctly. Slow the toy's movement down, let her catch it and hold it for a few seconds, then give a small treat. That's the cycle completing. After that, she relaxes and goes to sleep satisfied. 14. You don't talk to her. This sounds strange. But cats whose owners talk to them regularly are more social, less anxious, and respond better to cues and requests. Your voice is your scent, but in sound form. She recognizes it out of 100 others. She knows your intonations. She reads your mood from your tone. When you talk to her, you're creating connection, not because she understands the words, because she hears you, and that means you're here, you're calm, everything is okay. Cats who get ignored in silence all day while their owner works, those are cats in isolation. Talk to her. Tell her about your day. Ask how she's doing. She'll answer, in her own way, but she'll answer. This isn't crazy. It's communication with a creature who lives with you and deserves contact. 15. You don't think about the fact that there's less time than it feels like. She's 3 years old, or 5, or 8. You think, plenty of years ahead. Cats live 12 to 15 years. That's not much. And every year when you weren't paying attention, that year's already gone. Every time you moved her off your lap because it was uncomfortable. Every time you didn't pet her because you were busy. Every time you walked past without noticing her watching you from across the room. She doesn't hold grudges. She doesn't ask for compensation. She'll just keep coming back. Tomorrow. The day after. For as long as she can. You won't do everything perfectly. Nobody does. But you can do a little more. Notice a little more carefully. Stay a little longer. This doesn't cost money or time. Just attention while there's still time to give it. Do you do any of these? Write in the comments, what did you learn about yourself today? And subscribe. Every video here tells you something about your cat that she will never be able to tell you herself.